TV. Today I'm bringing you yet another unboxing video. This one is going to be more of a complimentary video, I guess. The focus of today's video is going to be on the new, actually I think it's last year's model, because I believe this came out the G5, but this is a Samsung Odyssey G3 gaming monitor. This is something I wouldn't have normally picked up, but in a previous video, as you may have seen already, is I purchased my wife the new Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360, and when I purchased it, this was actually thrown in as a free gift with it. We did think about just selling it, but we figured that it's something I normally wouldn't buy, so let's hang on to it for at least a little while, set it up, see how it goes, and give you guys a review on whether we like it or not, and kind of go from there. So a couple of things on this display. It is a 32-inch curved display. It has a 1500R ratio, which is the curvedness of it, I guess. It has a 165 hertz refresh rate, which is really good. A lot of modern gaming monitors are running in, like, I believe it's 144 hertz, so this is pushing to 165, so that's nice. This is still running a 1920 by 1080p resolution on it. I'm guessing the G5 is probably a 4K display. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm a little surprised that they sent a non-4K display with, because the Galaxy Book 2 has the ability to output to two 4K displays. And so I don't know if this is something that Samsung just kind of had leftovers, so decided to throw in as a perk, or if this is just supposed to complement this machine. So that's one of the things we're going to kind of test here today and see what happens. So I cut the tape, but I have not gone any further into the box than that. So I'm going to slide the laptop out of the way, and let's get this pulled out and see how it looks coming out of the box.
So I decided to go through and try something a little different with this part of the video and split the audio off of it, and I'm doing a voiceover recording. Let me know if you like this or not. I just decided to try something a little bit new. The styrofoam sound and cardboard sound from the actual unboxing didn't sound very pleasant on the video, but I wanted to try and get an actual unboxing and getting the monitor out of the packaging all in the video. So let me know if you enjoy this or not. I know sometimes it's nice just to see it once it's out of the box and all the wrappers off, but sometimes it's kind of fun to actually see it coming out of the box. So yeah, just let me know in the comment section down below what you think, if it's worth putting something like this in the video, or if it's more fun just to kind of see the box and then see it fully out of the box and set up. You'll see I'm getting the TV is currently, or it's not TV, it's a monitor, sorry, is currently upside down, and I'm getting the stand put on it. There are two little notches that you have to get it slid into, and then a tab that you push down, and it just kind of locks into place. Once you kind of know how it's going to work, it goes pretty quick. This was the first time I messed with it. One thing I also didn't point out in the video is you do see that blue kind of insignia around the connector point where it connects into the back of the monitor. That does actually light up when the monitor is on. At this point is where I realized that I needed to put two screws in the base to hold it together, but did not have a screwdriver with me, so I just kind of squeezed it together as good as I could, and then we'll flip it over and just use the weight of the monitor to hold it in place. And I'm going to do a short jump cut. I'm going to run and grab a screwdriver and get it put together properly, and then we'll get back to the video.
So I have everything set up now. The monitor went together pretty quickly. It's only really three parts. You have the monitor, the whole part of the stand, and then the base. The part that connects to the monitor itself is really nice. It has a little lever. You just twist it in, pops right in, and allows you to pivot the monitor on it. That's a really nice part. And there's no screws for that, so it attaches easy. And then being able to take it apart, you just push the little lever up and you'll be able to snap the TV right out. The bottom, though, still has 2 screws, so I did have to get a screwdriver to put those in. Normally I wouldn't really complain about screws, but with how nice that top part was, to then have to still put 2 screws in the bottom, quite frankly, seems dumb. It seems like Samsung could have done a better job of mounting those 2 pieces together, that you didn't need a screwdriver just for that. It is a nice and sturdy stand. It's solid metal, so that's nice. But why they decided to make you need a screwdriver for 2 little screws, that just seems like a weird shortcut to me. As far as in the box, it came with the power cable, and it came with a display cable. This is what made me realize that this monitor has nothing to do with this computer definitively. This computer does not have a display out port on it. All it has is Thunderbolts and USB-Cs on it. So, you know, if you're buying this individually and it comes with a display cable, great. I still think it should probably come with an HDMI cable or HDMI 2.0 or 2.1, because that's way more common than display ports in non-PCs, but this is also designed to be a computer monitor. So I get having the display, but so many more things run HDMI that I would rather see an HDMI at least 2.0, if not 2.1 in it. So if you are getting this as a bundle, you can get USB-C to HDMI cables, but most of those run right around, I think, like $40 or so. For the same price, you can pick up an Anchor converter to go from USB-C to HDMI, which will allow you to use any of your HDMI cables that you have to be able to plug into the monitor or any other TV or display that you may have. And I think this was like 15 bucks. So the versatility is amazing. And then I just used a Belkin HDMI cable to be able to plug this into the monitor, and it works great doing it that way. And then I can plug it into the TV or anything else. Having these adapters, not sponsored by Anchor, not sponsored by anyone at this point, but this little adapter that Anchor makes is really nice. I can use it to plug my iPad into the TV or projector to be able to get the bigger screens when I want to. And then obviously my wife's Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra also uses USB-C, so if she wants to be watching YouTube or Netflix or anything on her phone and then plug that straight into a TV, most of the TVs have the smart feature, so you can screen share. I think all 5 of ours are Samsung, so all of them can do that, but the projector doesn't do that. So when she wants to use that to watch movies, this comes in handy. If you have older TVs that may not have the screen share, this also comes in handy. And the screen sharing is nice, or screen mirroring, whatever you want to call it, but having the wired connection does increase your speed. Sometimes not by much, sometimes it's a very noticeable speed. So, you know, when possible, I highly recommend plug it in. So we'll go ahead, get all of this kind of turned on now. I'm going to turn the lights down so that we can get a better viewing idea on this thing, and we'll go from there. So now that we have everything set up, I turn the lights down just so you can see the screen a little bit better. We're going to go back to our Samsung HDR footage that we've used for previous testing in the past. We'll let this play and see how the resolution on this screen stands up. It is a 1920 by 1080 display, so it will be HD. Once again, it's not 4K, so I'm not expecting amazing things out of it, I guess, but we'll see how it does. So as you can see, it's doing just fine. I'm gonna turn so I can see the direct on. I keep kind of looking this way. I have a 4K monitor set up off to the side over here that I can watch the video on while it's being recorded. The off view and angle on this thing is not great because it is curved. As far as, I don't know, you aren't going to see as much anymore. A straight on viewing angle, it is interesting. I'm not used to the curved display. It is kind of neat. I'd have to get in and do some actual gaming in it to see how it does. Yeah, when you're actually looking straight on, it does actually pop a lot more than I was expecting. One of the things kind of picking up off of the 4K over here that I was looking at is the video does not do the curve justice. It's not as much of a curve as I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. But just a little bit of a curve that it does have does actually make a bit of a difference when you're viewing at it. One of the neat things with the base is you can tilt and adjust it for kind of different viewing angles that way. I'll admit, it's not 4K, but I mean, considering the source that we're kind of putting it up with, it's not really any different than the 4K footage that I was getting off the laptop on the TV we're testing. I'll go ahead and give a couple of kind of final notes that I've realized after doing a little bit of testing here. As I noted earlier, the off-angle viewing on this thing is not amazing. The other thing that I've noticed, just in the kind of short time I've been messing with it, is it does glare really bad. Especially if you have it angled up at all, any of the upper lights just reflect off of it, and even when I angle it down a bit, it glares. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it glares. When I had the lights turned off, it was really crisp, it was really nice, and like miles different than with having the lights on. So it's something to keep in mind if you're going to be in a bright area, if you're going to be somewhere with the light on all the time. I'm not that impressed with it with the lights on. With the lights off, I was thoroughly impressed. So if you're going to be a little bit darker area, it should be fun. I'm still not 100% sure on how much I like the curvature to it or not. But that's kind of up to the individual person, whether you like that or not. It's also a little bit smaller than I'm used to. I'm used to using 4K TVs for gaming. I know this has a higher hertz refresh rate, where this is at 165. I believe the 4K TV, one of them's at 60, and I think one of the newer ones is at 120. So as I go on, I'm gonna do a little bit of gaming on this just to kind of test it out, and then kind of see if there's really that much of a difference between, especially that 120 and 165 hertz refresh rate. I know there's a little bit between the 120 to 144. I've never really noticed that much in there. There is a huge jump when you go from 60 to 120. So I'm guessing that 60 to 165 is going to be massive. I don't know if, the 144 to 165 or even the 120 to 165 will be enough of a difference to merit going to that smaller screen. And consider that this thing right now is retailing, I think, right around $300, and you can pick up a lower end Samsung 4K TV right now, 50-inch for like $350. So I'd probably go that way rather than this, but kind of each person has their own preference. TVs also have a lot more features because they're TVs. This is kind of a one-trick type thing. One thing that I didn't point out earlier that is kind of nice with this one is it has like pretty much no bezels on the top or the two sides. So if you're wanting to put them together, you can. I know I've seen the 49-inch where they made a whole panorama with them. That seemed kind of excessive. And I think with this, even putting two of them side by side is going to be weird. You're going to be looking at a, two 32-inch screens side by side, but that's not a 64-inch screen because it's spread out twice as wide and you're still only keeping the same height. Some people may like that. I could see for doing office work, being able to have it split into 3 or 4 individual panels may be nice. Personally, I'd rather just have a 50-inch TV at that point, or even a 55, and be able to split it in half or split it into 4. But that's just kind of my personal preference. You may be different, and there's no issues if you'd rather have multiple smaller screens. Obviously, there's pros and cons to everything. So that's just kind of my initial impressions on this. So hope this was helpful. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, hit the like button. I have a whole bunch more unboxing content coming out. I'm just getting into the YouTube side of things, so I have all sorts of new tech for both my wife and myself, and the YouTube setup going on. So I'll be unboxing a bunch of this stuff and eventually get rolling with some other videos as well. Once again, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming and hope you have a great day.